Hi everyone. So today we are going to see CAM 16 Test 3 Reading Passage 3. So it's going to be CAM 16 Test 3 Reading Passage 3. The topic is plant thermometer triggers springtime growth by measuring nighttime heat. So a photoreceptor molecule in plant cells has been found to have a second job as a thermometer after dark, allowing plants to read seasonal temperature changes. Scientists say the discovery could help breed crops that are more resilient to the temperatures expected to result from climate change. An international team of scientists led by the University of Cambridge has discovered that the thermometer molecule in plants enables them to develop according to seasonal temperature changes. Researchers have revealed that molecules called photochromes used by plants to detect light during the day actually change their function in darkness to become cellular temperature gauges that measure the heat of the night. The new findings published in the journal Science show that phytochromes control genetic switches in response to temperature as well as light to dictate plant development. At night, these molecules change states, and the pace at which they change is directly proportional to temperature, say scientists who compare phytochromes to mercury in a thermometer. The warmer it is, the faster the molecular change, stimulating plant growth. Farmers and gardeners have known for hundreds of years how responsive plants to temperature. Warm winters cause many trees and flowers to bud early, something humans have long used to predict weather and harvest times for the coming year. The latest research pinpoints for the first time a molecular mechanism in plants that reacts to temperature, often triggering the buds of spring we long to see at the end of the winter. With weather and temperature set to become ever more unpredictable due to climate change, researchers say the discovery that this light sensing molecule also functions as the internal thermometer in plant cells could help us breed tougher crops. It is estimated that agricultural yields will need to double by 2050, but climate change is a major threat to achieving this. Key crops such as wheat and rice are sensitive to high temperatures. Thermal stress reduces crop yields by around 10% for every 1 degree increase in temperature, says lead researcher Dr. Philip Winch from Cambridge Scienceburg Laboratory. Discovering the molecules that allow plants to sense temperature has the potential to accelerate the breeding of crops resilient to thermal stress and climate change. In their active state, phytochrome molecules bind themselves to DNA to restrict plant growth. During the day, sunlight activates the molecules, slowing down growth. If a plant finds itself in shade, phytochromes are quickly inactivated, enabling it to grow faster to find sunlight again. This is how plants compete to escape each other's shade. Light-driven changes to phytochrome activity occur every fast in less than a second, says Vijay. At night, however, it's a different story. Instead of a rapid deactivation following sundown, the molecules gradually change from their active to inactive state. This is called dark reversion. Just as mercury rises in a thermometer, the rate at which phytochromes revert to their inactive state during the night is a direct measure of temperature, says Vijay. The lower the temperature, the slower the rate at which phytochromes revert to inactivity. So the molecules spend more time in their active growth suppressing state. This is why plants are slower to grow in winter. Warm temperatures accelerate dark reversion. So the phytochromes rapidly reach an inactive state and detach themselves from the plant's DNA, allowing genes to be expressed and plant growth to resume. Viggy believes phytochrome thermosensing evolved at a later stage and co-opted the biological network already used for light-based growth during the downtime of night. Some plants mainly use day length as an indicator of the season. Other species such as daffodils have considerable temperature sensitivity and can flower months in advance during a warm winter. In fact, the discovery of the dual role of phytochromes provide the science behind a well-known rhyme long used to predict the coming season. Oak before ash, we'll have a splash. Ash before oak, we are in for a soak. Viggy also explains oak trees rely much more on temperature, likely using phytochromes as thermometers to dictate development, whereas ash trees rely on measuring day length to determine their seasonal timing. A warmer spring and consequently a higher likeliness of a hot summer will result in oak leafing before ash. A cold spring will see the opposite. As the British know only too well, a colder summer is likely to be a rain-soaked one. The new findings are the culmination of 12 years of research involving scientists from Germany, Argentina, and US, as well as the Cambridge team. The work was done in a model system using a mustard plant called Arabidopsis, but Vijay says the phytochrome genes necessary for temperature sensing are found in crop plants as well. Recent advances in plant genetics now mean that scientists are able to rapidly identify the genes controlling these processes in crop plants and even alter their activity using precise molecular scalpels, adds Vijay. Cambridge is uniquely well positioned to do this kind of research as we have outstanding collaborators nearby who work on more applied aspects of plant biology and can help us transfer this new knowledge into the field. So first 27 to 32 is going to be a true or false not given. So see the first question. The Cambridge scientist discovery of the thermometer molecule caused surprise among other scientists. So I go to the first passage. So here the international team of scientists led by University of Cambridge discovered molecules enable them to develop seasonal temperature changes. But there is no information that they got surprised because of this. It is used to develop the plants according to seasonal temperature changes. The new findings was published in the journal. So we didn't find any information regarding the same. Hence, it is not given. The target for agricultural production by 2050 could be missed. So again, I go to the passage. So see this. It is estimated that agricultural yields will need to double by 2050, but climate change is a major threat to achieving this. So because of climatic changes, we may not be able to achieve this production in 2050. So it's true. Wheat and rice suffer from rise in temperatures. Wheat and rice suffer from rise in temperatures. So key crops such as wheat and rice are sensitive to high temperatures. So what does this mean? They suffer from rise in temperature. Again, it's going to be a true. It may be possible to develop crops that require less water. Possible to develop crops that require less water. So again, I go to the passage. So see this. Discovering the molecules that allow plants to sense temperature has the potential to accelerate the breeding of crops resilient to thermal stress and climate change. So I don't have any information regarding it is possible to develop crops that require less water. There is no information, which means not given. Plants grow faster in sunlight than in shade. So see this. So see, during the day, sunlight activates the molecule, slowing down the growth. If a plant finds itself in a shade, phytochromes are quickly inactivated, enabling it to grow faster to find the sunlight again. So what happens is it contradicts the information. So they say plants grow faster in sunlight than in shade. But in the passage, if you see this, sunlight activates the molecule, slowing down the growth. So if a plant finds itself in a shade, what happens? Phytochromes are quickly inactivated, enabling to grow faster to find the sunlight. You understand? So it contradicts the information, which means false. Okay. Phytochromes change their state at the same speed day and night. So again, I go to the passage. Light-driven changes to phytochrome activity occur very fast in less than a second. At night, however, it's a different story. Instead of rapid deactivation following sundown, the molecules gradually change from their active to inactive state. This is called dark reversion. Just as mercury rises in temperature, the rate at which phytochromes revert to their inactive state during the night is a direct measure of temperature, says Viggy. So what do you understand from this? Again, light-driven changes occurs very fast. So here the writer says, during the day, the state of phytochromes changes very fast. However, at night, it gradually slows down. So let me go to the question. So what is that in the question? They say it same speed at day and night. No, it is false. Okay. It's faster during the daytime and it's very slow during the night time. I hope you are able to understand. So next passages, next 33 to 34. Which section contains the following information? So you have to mark the letters from A to H. So 33rd question, mention of specialist who can make use of research findings. They have mentioned the name of some specialist who could make use of the research findings. So wait. So I go with passage H. The new findings are the culmination of 12 years and Cambridge is uniquely well positioned to do this kind of research as we have outstanding collaborators who work in more applied aspect of plant biology and can help us transfer this new knowledge into the field. So what is the question? Specialists who can make use of the research findings. So it's paragraph H. A reference to a potential benefit of the research findings. So if you see this paragraph D, discovering the molecules that allow plants to sense temperature has the potential to accelerate the breeding of crops resilient to thermal stress and climate change. So here the writer said molecules have the potential to speed up the breeding of crops. It is the potential that is having the capacity to do something in the future. Benefit of the research. Hence, I go with paragraph D. I hope you are able to follow. Scientific support for a traditional saying. So, traditional saying. So, see paragraph G. There is a well-known rhyme behind, a science behind the well-known rhyme to predict the season actually. Oak before ash, we'll have a splash. Ash before oak, we are in for a soak. So this is one of the traditional saying. The science behind this, they predict the season by the saying. So I go with paragraph G. A reference to people traditionally making plans based on plant behavior. So see this. Farmers and gardeners have known for hundreds of years how responsive plants are to temperature. Warm winters cause many trees and flowers to bud early, something humans have long used to predict weather and harvest times for the coming year. So you're able to understand this point. Here, the writers say farmers and gardeners know about the plant behavior to temperature, and they used this knowledge to predict the weather and harvest times. Yes. So it's paragraph C. So next question is a reference to where the research has been reported. So the research has been reported. Reference to where the research has been reported. So see this. A new findings published in the journal Science. It's been reported in journal Science. Show that phytochromes control genetic switches in response to temperature as well as light to dictate plant development. So you understand? They have been reporting this in the Science journal. Something they reported in the Science journal. So I go with paragraph A. I hope you people are able to follow. So next 38 to 40, you have to complete the sentences, not more than 2 words. So write your answers. Daffodils are likely to flower early in response to dash weather. So again, daffodils is my keyword. Again, I go to the passage. I search for the keyword daffodils. So see, other species such as daffodils have considerable temperature sensitivity and can flower months in advance during a warm winter. So what is the question? They flower early in response to the warm winter is my answer. Yes. And if ash trees come into leaf before oak trees, the weather in dash will probably be wet. So we had this traditional saying, right? Based on that, they are going to predict the weather. So if you understand that traditional saying, it will be easier for you to answer. See paragraph G. A warmer spring and consequently higher likeliness of hot summer will result in oak leafing before ash. A cold spring will see the opposite. Now I go back to the question. So if ash trees come into leaf before oak trees, when will it become wet? So again, the meaning of above lines is warm spring, hot summer, oak leafing before ash. So if opposite occurs in cold spring means ash leafing before oak, cold spring, colder summer. Rain soaked means wet. So the answer is summer. I hope you are able to understand. The research was carried out using a particular species of dash. So with what they have done the research, the work was done in a model system using a mustard plant called Arabidopsis. Understand? That is used for research. So the work was done using a mustard plant. So I hope you people are able to follow the questions. If you have any doubt, you could ask me in the comment section. I'm ready to explain. So with this, I like to end up the session here. Thank you so much for your patience.